All right, let's dive deep into Exodus chapter 2.
Exodus chapter 2, yeah.
The birth of Moses, his escape from death,
Right.
and all those early experiences that kind of shaped him into the leader he was going to become.
Absolutely. It's an incredible story.
You know, everyone knows the broad strokes, but
Yeah.
we're going to unearth some hidden gems of insight.
I think so. Yeah, looking forward to it.
It might surprise even those who are familiar with the story.
For sure.
So we're starting off
Is it
with the Israelites,
Yes.
enslaved in Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
under Pharaoh's really cruel rule.
Yeah, a tough time for them.
And to solidify his power, Pharaoh issues this horrifying decree
It is,
to
too.
kill all the
baby boys.
male Hebrew infants.
That's
so
awful.
this sets the stage for just
Guess
a desperate act of faith.
Yeah.
This Hebrew family risks everything
Mhm.
to hide their newborn son
That's right.
for 3 months,
3 months.
hiding constant fear.
Absolutely. Can you imagine?
And the text even calls him a goodly child.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
What do you make of that?
It's interesting.
What does that imply?
I think perhaps it's suggesting that even as a baby, there was something extraordinary about Moses,
Interesting.
setting him apart, you know, maybe a charisma
Yeah.
or a strength that we see later on in his leadership.
Yeah.
But eventually, you know, they can't hide forever.
Right.
The risk is too great,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to make this just agonizing decision.
Heartbreaking. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So they decide to place him in a basket.
In a basket among the reeds.
Yeah, among the reeds by the Nile River.
Yeah.
I mean,
Entrusting his fate to the currents.
it's almost like they're just
Yeah.
giving up.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Is this really an act of faith, do you think?
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, it seems like utter despair. Like
Yeah.
they've run out of options.
Mm.
But on the other hand, there's this glimmer of hope, right?
Yeah.
This belief that maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
God will intervene.
I love it.
And that's precisely what happens.
Because who comes down to the river?
Pharaoh's own daughter.
It's almost too perfect.
It is. It's almost too coincidental.
Right.
The irony is incredible.
It's ironic.
Pharaoh is trying to eradicate the Israelites.
Right.
But he becomes the instrument of,
Of saving Moses.
yeah, of his own undoing, really.
It really makes you wonder about fate and free will.
It does, doesn't it?
How much is planned? How much is just circumstance?
Mm-hmm. Was this all illustrated?
Yeah.
Or was it a fortunate twist that God then uses for his purposes?
Right.
We don't really know for sure. The text leaves it open.
Yeah.
But then we see Moses' sister.
Oh, right.
She's been watching the whole thing unfold.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
She is. What does she do?
Well, she seizes the moment, approaches Pharaoh's daughter, and offers to find a Hebrew woman to nurse the baby,
That's so smart.
leading to their own mother being hired.
Wow.
So clever.
It ensures that even though he's raised in the Egyptian court,
Right.
he's still going to get that,
That love and that cultural grounding.
yeah, from his own people.
Right, shaping his identity.
These early influences are so important.
Absolutely. I mean, talk about a unique upbringing, the
Yeah.
privilege, the education of the Egyptian elite,
Yeah.
but the roots and awareness of his Hebrew heritage.
The best of both worlds, right?
Almost, yeah.
But also imagine the inner conflict.
Oh, absolutely.
Living in luxury
Yeah.
while his own people are suffering.
Must have been incredibly difficult.
And that conflict comes to a head when Moses is a grown man. He witnesses an Egyptian taskmaster beating a Hebrew slave.
Yeah.
And he's just consumed by rage.
He is. He acts impulsively.
Kills the Egyptian,
Yeah.
hides the body.
Big consequences.
Huge consequences.
I mean, it shows his deep sense of justice,
Yeah.
the solidarity with his people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's rash, isn't it? Driven by emotion, not calculated leadership.
It's like he has this strong moral compass,
Yet.
but hasn't quite figured out how to use it.
Exactly. He's still got a lot to learn.
Right. So the news gets to Pharaoh,
Of course.
furious, understandably.
Understandable.
And Moses has to flee
he did.
for his life.
Leaving everything behind.
The only life he's ever known.
He ends up in Midian,
Midian, yeah.
a fugitive,
He's seeking refuge.
a desolate land.
It's like an echo of his own infancy, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Back in hiding.
Stripped of his status, his identity.
What a humbling experience that must have been.
Absolutely, for someone raised in a palace.
Right.
It's crucial, though, for his development.
Yeah.
This exile, I mean, he's stripped bare, confronting his mortality, the fragility of his old life.
So he's in Midian,
He is.
encounters some shepherds being harassed.
Okay.
steps in to defend them.
That's right.
That instinct to protect,
It's still there.
it's still there.
That's significant.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
What is foreshadowing?
His role as liberator.
Oh.
This commitment to justice.
Regardless of the risk.
Yeah, exactly.
He marries Zipporah.
One of the shepherd's daughters.
Right.
They have a son, Gershom.
Gershom, and that name means...
A stranger in a strange land.
What a fitting name.
It is, isn't it?
Given his situation.
Speaks volumes about his state of mind.
Yeah, an outsider, right?
Mm-hmm. Between two worlds.
The Egypt he fled.
Yeah.
The Midian he hasn't embraced.
Not fully, no.
That feeling of alienation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that fueled him?
It's possible, right?
To long for home?
Yeah, longing for belonging.
Yeah.
Maybe even intensified his empathy for his people.
Yeah, making their plight even more personal.
Mm.
So while he's building this new life
Yeah.
back in Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
things are going from bad to worse. Their suffering is intense.
Their cries reach a crescendo.
Echoing across the wilderness.
Reaching the ears of God.
Finally.
Yes, and this is where it shifts. We see the Israelites suffering at the start, but now God's response.
He hears their cries.
He does.
And crucially,
He remembers.
he remembers his covenant.
Yeah, with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
This promise,
Mm-hmm.
about to be fulfilled
It is
in a way no one could have imagined.
an incredible story unfolding.
So we've gone from hiding a baby
A desperate act.
to the seeds of a nation's liberation.
And amazing. Yeah,
And Moses' journey,
Mhm.
it's just beginning.
it is.
But all these early experiences
Yeah.
have shaped him
That's a good
for the
point.
role he's going to play.
Absolutely. Shaped him for greatness.
Yeah.
What a story.
It is. It is.
And it's just getting started.
Exactly.
So much more to come.
So much more to come. Stay tuned.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Me too. Me too.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. Chapter 3.
Yeah, chapter 3.
Moses is tending his father-in-law's sheep.
Right by Mount Horeb.
Ordinary day,
Seemingly. Yeah.
but things are about to get very
Extraordinary.
extraordinary. Yes.
Yeah.
He sees a bush,
A bush engulfed in flames.
but it's not burning up.
That's the strange thing.
What is going on?
It's not an ordinary fire.
Okay.
This is a theophany.
A what?
A theophany. It's a visible
Oh.
manifestation of God.
Wow.
It's a sign that something big is about to happen.
And then God calls to Moses
From the bush.
out of the burning bush.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I mean, you're just out tending sheep,
Just another day.
and suddenly you're talking to God.
It's incredible.
That is wild.
This contrast between the divine and humanity.
Yeah.
I mean, Moses, he lived in a palace,
Right.
and now he's humbled before God.
God tells him to take off his sandals.
Yeah, holy ground.
Holy ground.
You gotta be reverent.
It's like you said, a reminder.
It is. When we encounter the divine,
Yeah.
we need that humility,
Yeah.
recognizing our limits.
And then God reveals his plan.
He does. He's chosen Moses
Okay.
to deliver Israel.
Wow.
Heard their cries. Yeah. Sending Moses to lead them out.
This is it?
This is Moses' destiny.
Yeah.
Everything's led to this.
His heritage, his upbringing.
The exile, everything.
All of it.
Preparing him for this huge task.
But Moses is hesitant.
Oh, yeah. He's like, who am I?
Who am I to do this?
That's so human, right?
Totally.
Feeling inadequate.
You're given this huge task.
Yeah. Way beyond our capabilities.
Exactly. And he even questions God.
He does.
What's your name?
Needs reassurance.
Yeah.
Needs a sign.
That he's not alone.
Yeah.
And God's response,
Powerful.
so powerful. I am, W-H-I-M.
Oh.
Tell them I am sent you.
It's the statement, isn't it?
About God's nature.
Yeah, his eternal nature, his commitment.
To his people, that
Yeah.
name I am.
Central to Jewish theology.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Signifies God's self-existence.
Wow.
His power, his faithfulness.
A message that resonates.
Throughout the whole Bible.
Really?
Even today.
Even today, wow.
Powerful stuff.
And God gives Moses signs.
Oh, yeah. To prove his authority.
The staff into a snake.
Back and forth.
And back again. And then his hand.
Leprosy, then healed.
Instantly. I mean, would you be convinced?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing that.
It's not just tricks.
No.
It's God's power.
Over nature.
Yeah. To heal, to restore.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing the liberation to come.
But even after all that.
Moses is still making excuses.
I know.
He's like, I'm not eloquent.
I'm slow of speech.
Come on, Moses.
You lived in Pharaoh's court.
You must have some skills.
I know.
It's interesting, though.
Yeah.
He's holding on to his insecurities
Yeah.
like a shield.
Shielding himself.
Yeah, from the task ahead.
But it also shows his humility.
It does, yeah.
Maybe that's why God chose him.
Maybe.
And then God offers a solution.
He does.
Aaron will be his spokesperson.
What a relief.
I know, right?
God works through our weaknesses.
Gives us the support we need.
To fulfill our purpose.
That's amazing.
It is.
So finally,
Really. Moses agrees to go back.
to face Pharaoh.
This is a turning point.
It is. He accepts his calling.
Sets everything in motion.
The power of faith,
Yeah.
transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary,
So we've gone from the burning bush?
to accepting his mission.
Yeah. Chapter 3 leaves us with so much anticipation.
It does. What happens next?
What does happen when Moses goes back?
How will Pharaoh react?
We'll find out in chapter 4.
Can't wait.
But before we do,
Yeah.
let's think about this.
Okay.
What does this burning bush encounter tell us about God?
Yeah, how he communicates with us?
Is it always dramatic?
Or are there more subtle ways?
I don't know.
Lots to ponder.
Lots to ponder. Back to Exodus chapter 2, we're following Moses on his incredible journey.
From birth to exile, that burning bush encounter,
And now
is heading back to Egypt
he's got his mission
to confront Pharaoh.
to demand the release of his people.
Big moment.
Huge, but it's not going to be easy.
Not at all. Chapter
Okay.
4
Chapter 4
starts with Moses on his way back,
with his family.
wife and sons. But
Something strange happens.
God appears to Moses
Oh,
and tries to kill him.
wait, what?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shocker.
God tries to kill the guy? He just chose to free the Israelites.
I know, it's puzzling.
What's going on here?
Well, if you look closely,
Yeah.
it all comes down to circumcision.
Okay.
Moses hadn't circumcised his son,
Oh, right.
and that's a big deal.
Big deal, yeah.
Sign of the covenant with Abraham.
So he's jeopardizing his family's standing with God?
It's possible the text seems to suggest that
Right.
his inaction
Yeah.
had serious consequences.
It's like even the chosen ones
Right.
aren't exempt
From neglecting their obligations?
from the rules.
Yeah, you could say that.
But Zipporah,
Moses' wife.
she steps in,
Quick thinking.
circumcises their son herself.
Averts the crisis.
Wow. Talk about decisive.
I know, right? The women in Exodus,
Yeah.
they're incredible. So much courage.
Always taking action.
Even when the men hesitate,
Like God works through every...
he does, using everyone's strengths.
So the danger's averted.
For now,
Moses continues on.
meets Aaron.
Brothers reunited.
They go before the elders.
Perform those miracles.
The staff, the serpent, the leprosy.
Can you imagine witnessing that?
The elders were convinced
That God had heard them?
and chosen Moses.
But the real test is coming.
They're fair.
That confrontation.
Intense.
They deliver God's message.
Let my people go.
So they can hold a feast.
In the wilderness.
But Pharaoh,
Who is this Lord?
he says,
I don't know him.
and I'm not letting them go.
Classic power struggle.
So like he's resisting God's will.
Totally. His arrogance is amazing.
He won't even acknowledge God.
Nope. Clinging to control.
Which is going to lead to
The
plagues. The plagues, right?
It's all connected.
And he doesn't just refuse.
Oh, man.
It makes things worse.
He does. Increases their workload,
Trying to crush their spirit.
thinking he can stop them.
It's like he's digging his own grave.
He doesn't realize it.
Yeah. So chapter 2 ends.
With so much tension.
We've seen it all.
The birth of a leader.
A rebellion brewing.
Human will versus divine purpose.
The Israelites are so close to freedom.
But the path is dangerous.
And this is just the beginning.
The beginning of an epic journey.
Exodus is full of twists and turns.
Leadership, freedom, faith.
It's a story that still speaks to us today
It does. It makes you think.
about our own challenges, our own belief.
How we respond to adversity.
It's a powerful story.
One that continues to inspire.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Absolutely looking forward to it.